IMHO Talk Show.
Taking Seville to the world, bringing the world to Seville. Right. You know how we do, good people. And we are keeping the hits coming, Miss Max.
That's it.
We are joined by more community stalwarts, cornerstones of our community here. You know, and as we said, there's so much going on, so much happening, and it's good to have some consistency as well. And we know this time of year, we have grown to love the likes of Westhaven Day. That's going to be coming up next Saturday. And so to talk about that and to talk about other things regarding housing in our communities, we have some representatives of PHAR with us. We have the CEO, the executive director in the back here as well, Patricia Giles, and we also have Mr. Earl Hicks. First time on with us. Good to have you, brother. I see you out a lot. It's good to sit and talk with you. And none other, you know, than the legend, Queen Joy Johnson.
Do a drum roll or something?
I feel like she needs much more of a build-up. She needs much more of a build-up than what I just gave her. I did her no justice. But Miss Joy Johnson, Mr. Earl Hicks, are here to talk with us. And enjoyed beginning of the show. I don't know if you were able to hear it or not, but I definitely had to give you some props because I was able to join you and Jackie Martin on last Friday. And one of the things that did my heart glad, and I had to share with the public. A lot of people don't know, like this part, about your personality and how grateful you are for the support that you have. Right, because you're such a presence, you're such a voice, right? And sometimes people forget that you can't do it all by yourself. Right. And so, the way that you, show love, to the residents that came to the event with you Friday, to also give them their flowers and give them their recognition, I think was a beautiful thing. So thank you all for all that you do.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Indeed. So let's see. So where should we start? I know we're approaching Westhaven Day. That's coming up this is coming Saturday, first Saturday of August. So for those that may not know, let's talk a little bit about that, like the history of Westhaven Day and sort of how that came to be and what we could expect this year.
So yes, I don't, this morning, I have this thing where I say, well, my aunt used to always tell me because I was a stubborn little child. But my aunt used to always tell me the way you spend your day is the way the Lord wants you to spend your day. If it's something bad, it's something for you to learn in it. If it's something good, it's a check, right? And so this morning when I got up, I'm like, I texted Mrs. Giles and I said, what time you picking me up? And so he basically told me what time. And then I got a text from my cousin from Jersey that was here. And I was like, oh, okay, I can't focus on that right now and whatever. And so we was on our way here. And she said, I called Mr. Earl and Mr. Earl is not there. And I said, well, I'm not going to do it by myself. Let's go get Earl. And when we arrived at the church, one of the original person who started Spring Fling in Westhaven was there. And then when I came here, the other person was walking out to the studio. So it's good that you start off with that question because it started off with Sylvia Tyree, who was living in Westhaven at the time, and Harold Foley. And what they did was they were used to have a spring fling. And so it was just like for maybe 4 hours, with everybody getting together. But then when Holly Edwards came on board, she decided that she wanted to make it a much bigger event where we bring people to the neighborhood because a lot of people who serve the neighborhood never come in the neighborhood.
Don't spend time there.
Right, and spend time there. And then also we realized that a lot of kids, when they go back to school, has not gotten their sports physical, even though it's a lot of sports physical is made available. And so this is like the last stop to get free sports physical. And so that's how it got started. It got started by Harold Foley and Sylvia Tyree as a spring fling. And then I happened to see them this morning. So, it's like, so that's how that started.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is good history there, and I'm not surprised. Harold Foley is involved in everything as well. So, but now, like when you think about sort of the evolution of it, and you think about having, like Patricia on the team now and her team and whatnot, like what has it grown to be? What has it come to be? Is it what you expected? Is it,
I don't know if I had an expectation. It was just, I was just flowing. When you're young, you just flowing, you just flowing, you just doing it. But because now that their residents are planning the redevelopment of West Haven, we did a survey about what are some of the things that they would like to see continue in the community. And almost 100% of the residents said West Haven Community Day.
Okay.
You got to keep West Haven Community Day. And then the question came up, where we're still trying to figure it out, is that, okay, when you're doing redevelopment, how are you going to continue West Haven, the annual West Haven Community Day? Are we going to do it with the 10th and Page neighborhood, or are we still going to do it somewhere in West Haven? So I think what has happened is that it has become something that the residents look forward to. It's one of those days where it's like, wow, I can be free, I can I can enjoy, I can see people. So that's what it has come to. And vendors, I think the vendors, I think the last count was 71 vendors.
71.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's like,
I love seeing the community show up and us celebrating, because that's one thing about Charlottesville is that sometimes we get so isolated, and then when we're isolated, we don't understand each other. We can't get to know each other, to realize that that we all have a lot of the same needs, basic needs, and that a lot of us also can be celebrating together. And there's no reason why, just like you may go to X Park or you can come to West Haven.
Right,
no reason you can't.
Right.
And Mr. Hicks too, Mr. Earl Hicks is joining us. So I'm curious on your recollections of West Haven and what celebrating the community means to you.
What it means to me, coming together, fun, family. Other communities come together, and just to have a good time, enjoy yourself. It's about memories, about building that family and building that community.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I don't think, maybe years ago, I used to work for CRHA several years ago, and so I may have attended one or two West Haven Community Days. But what I really love about this event is that when someone else is constantly, other person are constantly creating a narrative for an individual or their space, that negative narrative is generally what gets spread the most. Most times become the biggest voice. And so I think West Haven Community Day gives a space of belonging, a sense of belonging and pride to not just the residents that live there, but also the people visiting there, where they can see the community and the people that live there through a different lens. Right. And that's the goal, right? We just need to understand each other. This is similar to your neighborhood is your community. This is our community. We all care about each other. We all want it to be as best as possible. There's a sense of pride here, a sense of belonging here. And we're just here to enjoy our day and enjoy the fun, And so that those things need to happen, because it shows younger and older generations who they really are, and gives them a sense of pride and really a sense of hope too, right? For what there is, what the possibilities are for that community.
So, we have a large migrant family who is, in our community. And so one of the youth they come in to get popsicle. So if y'all want to donate some popsicle to West Haven, please do so, because the kids come in every day. Can I have and I just let them go get it, because, they just need a place where they can just come and get something. And I was trying to find out, was he going on a trip that is being done? And he said, no, I'm not going to go. And I was telling him about all the stuff that was going to happen. And he was in a race a year ago or 2 years with Prolific.
Okay.
They run the races and stuff. And so there is a picture that is on the T-shirt this year. And when he saw it, he said, that's my brother. That's my brother. And he just got so excited, and he like, yo, wait till I go and tell my brother. So you are absolutely right. Yeah. When they can see the remembrance of the year before, it just brings, they don't think about nothing else. And I think you're absolutely right. I think that's what I think that's what Holly was hoping for,
Yeah.
but I didn't see it. It's just have a day where you're not thinking about no pain. You're not thinking about, you're just having fun and eating good food and listening to good music. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, definitely. Every time you mention Miss Holly Edwards, definitely makes my heart smile, and I know she would be proud of the growth there. Particularly when you talk about how adamant she was about our health and wellness. Right. And so to provide these free services, because if we didn't mention people, it's a free function, with a lot of free activities there for you. But the health services in particular, like you said, kids can get their sports physicals and all that. And then also heard you mention Prolific, and I love how intentional they were with when they run their routes. They make sure they run through neighborhoods, right. And the times that that I've been privileged to witness that as well, I love seeing the kids come outside, like when they see the runners come through. You know what I mean? Like, it looks so inspirational.
I can tell you that I can't run right now, but one day I might be able to walk with them or whatever. Working on that. But we have a youth coordinator right now. His name is Ish, and he's working with Prolific. And you all should just come out one day with Prolific and just see what and how they galvanize with Mark Lorenzoni, how they are galvanizing and getting the kids doing different stuff. And no matter what I asked Prolific to do, they always stepped up and do it. And I do want to highlight Ish because and one of the things we do at West Haven Day is to recognize people. I think 1 year what we did was people who lived in West Haven the longest, the matriarchs and the patriarchs, we recognize them. And then we recognize community people who have stayed with us as long. So we also recognize people and students who and individuals who have graduated. We shout them out, and give them something. So
Grace, beautiful. And we are talking about the 29th annual West Haven Community Day. Saturday, August 1st, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'm on Hardy Drive, hosted by PHAR CRHA and the CRHA. So definitely support. And Latricia, I don't know if you want to comment and chime in on it as well. But as far as vendors, volunteers, is any of that still needed? How can folks reach out?
Yes, we definitely are still in need of volunteers, but I actually want to say the time is extended. We're actually going from 10 to 5. The vendor portion is going to be from 10 to 1. We have bingo, there's lunch, but this year we also, like last year, we had a band, but this year we are going to be having the Reset Band perform from 4 to 5. So we want to make sure that community members know to please come out, but volunteers are needed. We still are in need of any types of donations that you are able to make. We have an Amazon wish list that is up as well. And to make any donations to the event, you can reach out to me. And you can also reach out on our website. Go to pharcville.org/donate. And you can actually find the button to donate. And in the notes, because I just want to make it easy for my life, just put on there West Haven Community Day, and I'll know exactly where to allocate those funds. And I'm going to say thank you in advance because I appreciate everything that you are able to do and to donate to this event, because as Ms. Joy and Mr. Earl has said, it is a community event that they have labored for months to plan to make sure that this thing is properly executed and that the community will really love and enjoy the work of their labor and the things that they want to see. So please join us. Donate if you can, and donate of your time if you can. And you can find out, like I said, information. You can also email me, latricia@pharcville.org, and we can get you set up as a volunteer.
Good stuff. Thank you for all you do as well. So, Ms. Max, I think we'd be remiss if we just ended it with West Haven Day. We have, when we have the brilliant mind sitting with us right now, Mr. Earl, Miss Joy, y'all go ahead and take the end of the segment to kind of school us a little bit, right? Like what's happening right now within our housing communities, Miss Joy, like what's a good word, you want to leave with the people and also a call to action? Because I know there's always action, right? So what are we experiencing right now? What's at the top of the agenda for your activism right now?
Well, what we're experiencing is decimation of core neighborhoods. I was involved with attending meetings about the zoning code, but there were things that we missed, right? Like what what pressure that the by right would do and how it would hurt. Mm-hmm. So, we all miss stuff, right? And I think the city missed it. I don't think, I sometimes wonder, did they miss it or is it intentional? However, I'm seeing it as a miss because I know I missed it and some of my peers missed it. And that's why we kept going to council to say, can you revisit that portion of it? We're not asking them to change the whole code, but because it was a miss. And what's happening now is that big developments are going up. You have the 7.5 Street humongous building going up behind the church, LV Collective on West Main. They went from 12 to 8 stories, but it's still humongous. And then Chris Henry is proposing to build a Marriott hotel right there from 8th Street and where Twice as Nice is. And then on Albemarle Street, there's some going up. So in every core neighborhood, these humongous building is going up. And what I've come to learn is that what I've come to realize is that it's money over people. And the reason why it's money over people, the city made this agreement with, and somebody's going to correct me when I get home to say you used the wrong word, but you all know what I'm talking about. They have this agreement to say Charlottesville will not annex. They won't grow. And Albemarle County will give them money. It's that when they sprawl. And so the only way, I get it, the only way to keep the city of Charlottesville going and get some revenue, they have to build up. But there is no consideration about preservation of neighborhoods. And so what's happening now is that there is a lot of, they say affordable housing, but affordable for whom? Right. And when people ask the question, if anybody wants to live in it, can they live there? And the developers say yes. Yeah, but can they afford it? So the affordability, and then on the federal level, Section 8 is always at a risk of being defunded. And we have a lot of folks who has a Section 8 voucher. Basically right now, the only reason why CRHA can keep the housing deeply affordable is because they have public-private partnership, because HUD doesn't give you any money. They don't give you anything. They only give you relocation vouchers and replacement vouchers. And when you hear those words, they mean two different things. Relocation means that they can go and get something somewhere, but when they come back, the housing authority cannot hold on to that voucher. It goes away. Replacement voucher means that when the units come back, there's going to be a subsidy. What they call it, Ms. Giles, is project-based subsidy. And so that helps to keep it deeply affordable. However, we have to put other money with it in order to get it deeply affordable. So the affordability is one, the gentrification of the neighborhoods are the other, and the other one that is just more dear to my heart is, and I talk about, I'm not going to call his name or her name, but I talk about the 10th and Page neighborhood where, I want to, Vizina, I'm going to call it Vizina Howard's mom was the one who actually got me to start looking at housing, doing housing, and be involved. And so that house there is for them, for the Howard family, that's their wealth that was passed on to them. And Mr. Bryant, the same thing. And they don't fall in the same category of tax rebate or they have to go find a job to get ends meet. So who is helping them? And so these big building is going to drive up the the tax revenue. And so people are worried about, am I going to be able to pass my wealth on to my grandkids or my great grandkids? And that is just shameful that the city will not do something about that. So there's a lot, and wages has not gone up.
Right.
But everything else has gone up. But the gentrification of the neighborhoods, and one of the counselors, I think I remember him saying, I might be wrong, but I think I remember him saying, if people are concerned about gentrification, they need to move. Move where? Leave and go where?
Yeah.
And nobody hold them accountable for saying that. Nobody. So that was a public statement.
Yeah.
We can go back and find what he said it.
Yeah.
So, and then you have other people who think that trickle down economics work. It does not. So that's what's happening. It's the gentrification. It's fighting for affordable housing. And housing is a human right. Everybody deserves housing. I don't care if it's made out of a cardboard box. They deserve shelter.
Somewhere. Yeah. So what you're bringing to my mind, ultimately when I hear these conversations from either side, like I still think about where the median is, like where do we meet to make this work for everybody? Because on one side I hear some folks on council and whatnot, and some folks in the community will say, well, bottom line is we just need housing. Like we need to develop. Charlottesville can't stay the same forever, right? But is it a us versus them, or should we be looking at, so just because you have development, whatever that may mean, does that not mean that we still can't provide the resources needed for affordable housing, for the public housing community, whatever that may be? Because to me, I feel like that we pretty much got to balance the budget, so to speak. It can't be us versus them forever, because you need development, but you also need to take care of your citizens that's here. But is that possible?
I think it's possible if they have a mind shift. They don't have the mind shift that, okay, this is the way it's supposed to be, but here's what we have, and here's what we have to make sure we take care of. That's not happening. It's a lot of meetings and talking. So sick of meetings, but it's a lot of meetings and talking, but they're not doing anything. I do think that, the university should be contributing more than what they're doing. They're not paying any taxes. They're just growing. They're like a cancer. Every time I look, this university owns this, university owns that. I think that should be a part of it. But also, there's one developer who is working with CRHA after August 11 and 12. He was the only one, even though people didn't said, don't trust him. He was the only one who said, how can I help? You have other developers who live here who serve on the Housing Authority Board and benefit off of their Section 8 voucher, who could have said the same thing, like, how can I help? It's just a mind shift. And they're raising money for help CRHA make it deeply affordable. There are other developers who are living here who can do that same thing.
Yes.
But it's money, it's greed, it's just money. They want to get richer. They sound like somebody else. I know, I just say that. They just want to get richer. And so, yes, there is a middle ground. We just need to decide that the powers to be needs to decide that they're going to make absolutely sure that they address that and take care of it. And I don't think that's happening.
So to get you to elaborate on the statement you just made, aside from deeply affordable housing, how can these developments help? What are the potential trade-offs if this student housing is coming or this hotel is coming? What can the Black neighborhoods get out of it to create a more thriving neighborhood?
So, community benefit agreements, but from what I am learning, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, we have to find a way to make it legal, because I'm hearing that sometimes community benefit agreements are not legal. They don't have to abide by it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the money that they put in the affordable housing is not enough. They need to contribute it for their neighborhood. If it's in the 10th and Page neighborhood, you need to contribute money to help repair people's homes, for services, for whatever the community needs. Okay, what is it they need? And they can put, because if you're selling the standard in the flats. One of them just got sold for $107 million after 10 years. So giving money to the affordable housing is crumbs based on what you going to make. And I think that's how the community, the middle, we need to start looking at these buildings and understanding how much money they're making and how much, none of that money is going into Fifield. None of that money that is going into 10th and Page. And so I think it's looking at that a little bit more so we can make some demands. And what demands needs to have dollars attached to it, not a wish list. So if we want you to help make sure people can continue their wealth, let's put some money towards it. And they can do it. If you selling 10 years later, you selling it for $107 million, then in the next 5 years, you're going to sell it for $300 million. But who is getting the revenue? The only person that gets the revenue from these buildings is the city.
Trish, do you have any ideas?
No, I was just actually going to say that, and even in the selling of the building, that is the particular developer that's able to build up right behind the church. So they've been able to not only make a profit and not put it back into the community that they've extracted from, but now we have just continued processes of where community members aren't being heard. So I absolutely agree with Ms. Joy saying we have to be able to make strong demands, but also strong demands of city council, because they're the ones not allowing them to increase the money that would be put into the fund, because they're using luxury student housing as their backing to not be able to put in as much and contribute. That's not beneficial to anybody. And like I've said before when I've come, no one is saying that we're against growth student housing, understanding of building of density, but how can we do that when you're not in communication with communities that you're impacting, and then you have this privilege by right to encroach into these neighborhoods, and then, tell them, oh, well, it's about the profit. We're not going to make enough money if we build any other way, because that's what we have literally been up against since we've had this fight, because the developers are choosing people that can pay them the money that they can afford, and not the people that have been in this community for generations and invested and built families. And all they're asking for is like, how can I stay housed? How can I stay in my community? How can we keep this culture here? Because this city has also had a history of doing this to Black and brown families. So it's like, why are we continuing to repeat history when we actually have an opportunity to make a new future for all of us? So some of the calls to action that we definitely have is please continue to show up to city council. Please continue to write notes and letters to them and let them know, like, we do not take this as a community. We are against the ways that this is happening. Yeah, we have to talk and work with developers, but it shouldn't be an afterthought, and it shouldn't be we are a checkbox to make this happen and continue on with our development and not even worry about you anymore. And that's what it's been feeling like. So I know that in the last meeting at the around Fifeville, I appreciate all of the righteous anger that was in that room, because I feel like that is going to be fuel to continue to propel community forward, because we have to come together. All of these core neighborhoods, we have to band together. We have to be strong with our demands, and we have to make sure that we really are taking this to where it needs to go. So yes, next city council is going to be August 3rd. Show up, show out, 6:30. We need you. I'll bring some extra red shirts if you want to be in the red shirt crew. We'll have signs. And if you're not a talker, just hold a sign. Like I said, if you also email council before you even get there, if you don't feel like you want to talk but want your message to be heard, they have to read those emails that we send. And even if they don't read it, somebody has it recorded somewhere that they got it received. So just make sure that we're using our voices and praying with our feet to make sure that we're moving things forward.
And the other thing is to follow the money. I think one of the things that I've learned in even being on some boards, I was taught by some of my mentors. I have one mentor that said, Johnson, if you follow the money, you know what people are doing. And I think to answer your question, Charles, is that when they build those buildings, we just say, I knew they were going to do it anyway, but we're not even researching to see who is, how they selling it, how much money they're making, that kind of stuff, because we really don't have anybody researching this kind of stuff. The UVA students help me to understand and keep a check on how these buildings are just being passed through, and we don't even know. But yeah, community benefits, follow the money. And I think people like you, Charles, and you also, is that we have to be paying attention. And I think we have so much going on that we're not paying particular attention. And the one department that we're not talking about, that I know I got my eyes fixed on and my mouth and my heart fixed on when WESTHAVEN Community Day, is that planning department. Okay. That planning department is the problem, because when the developer has an idea, where do they go first? The development department. And somebody in that department, they need to start pushing back and saying, no, let's run it by, the community. This is what you need to do. And just don't send the developers out there, but watching them the same way they will watch us. But anyway, those are just my, because, like PHAR, we have boxes we have to check anytime we get funding from them, from anybody. But they hold us accountable. Why you not holding the developers accountable? Absolutely. And so the planning department is one department that we're not putting pressure on. They work for, they do what city council tell them, but we can put pressure on them.
Right. Now, there's two things that you make me think of real quick too. That one, I feel like that a lot of times the developers themselves need more pressure applied to them and need to be protested more. And the reason I say that is because, like we'll come to, city council, which is great. We need to do that as well. But not much irks me more than when I see a lot of these developers and business folks in Charlottesville that claim to be for the community and part of the community. And then when they drop the ball on a project, it's almost like people don't pay them any attention. Like we go straight to city council, which we should in a lot of cases. But a lot of times these developers need the pressure applied to them.
I got two that I know I can. I definitely can educate you all on where you need to put the pressure, because they have benefited off of poor people.
Yes. Yeah.
By renting them. You got something you got to say?
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Also, I just want to add too, when you come into somebody's backyard or somebody's neighborhood, and don't sit at the table with them, and to say, okay, let's come to an agreement, or I got an idea, let me run it by you, and when you don't do that and say, when I first heard about this, it made me feel like, okay, it made me feel very like you coming in, like I just bought a house and you coming in my house, sitting at my table,
right,
and not introducing yourself to me, So that's why I feel the LV and the surrounding neighborhoods. When you go in surrounding neighborhoods, and I'm from Charlottesville. I'm born and raised in Charlottesville. I'm a native of Charlottesville. So when you come into my hometown,
right,
and plant your feet on my land, and saying, okay, we go build here, and not come to the table and talk with us.
Right. It's offensive.
Yeah.
You it's very offensive here and very disrespectful.
Yes.
So, and I'm 53 years old, and I got birthday coming up, in August, and I'll be 54. So,
good stuff.
So I'm just saying, and I'm being with Joy and Ms. Gal, come put pressure with apply pressure where pressure is needed.
Yeah.
Because when you apply pressure, they gonna have no choice but to react.
You're right.
Power is still with the people.
Yeah.
I think that loops back to what you were saying, Ms. Joy, about the development office. Right. It's like that should be a prerequisite, right? For them, any developer that you are thinking about contracting, it has to be some sort of like in-service, right? Or like intake process of how are you learning this community? You know what I mean? Like first, do you know what this community wants and needs, not just what you bring into us, right?
And when when I remember sitting in the West Haven Community Center when LV Collective came to talk to the residents, and what they said to the residents was that we study your design. Mm-hmm. And right there, I just like, I'm gonna shut this down because number one, you waited until these residents had been meeting for about 2 years, planning, fighting, disagreeing, finally come to a consensus, and then it become public. And then you knew, because if you started making your sketch in April, right? Yeah, that's what they said. In April, you were thinking about it way before April. You didn't come to the community and talk to the community, but you waited to see what we were going to do, and so you can purposely design what you wanted to design. Mm-hmm. So we ran them up out of there.
Good.
It's like, go away. We need to talk to the 10th and Page neighborhood. We need to know how 10th and Page feel, right? And so I say this to say, the planning department, I went to Greensville, South Carolina. I have been so fortunate to go to places where other residents haven't been. And that's why I just appreciate spaces that I'm in, because it's a blessing. But Greensville, South Carolina Planning Department, before any developer get to do anything, they advertise and say, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is what we need to be built. And if you don't want it, go. There's other people that can come. Charlottesville need to do something like that.
Exactly.
And the 7.5 Street, one of the designer, he lives in Charlottesville.
So the Planning Commission serves as some form, or intended to serve as some form of oversight for a lot of these projects. Yes. And then the next level is City Council, although...
And the Planning Department. Don't leave the
Planning Department, then Planning Commission, then yes. City Council. Yes. But City Council has the discretion of power to overturn a Planning Commission recommendation or the BAR.
So, you have, and our community don't understand these steps, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't until lately I went to a BAR meeting. I never go. I went to Planning Commission and City Council, but never went to a BAR meeting. But they have so much power. The Planning Commission got power. The BAR has power. Preservation of historic building, they have power. And none of our folks is in those rooms. None of our folks attend those meetings. So what you don't know, and that's how you get hurt, right? And so to answer your question, it's not just pressure on the developers, but we have to start educating the community these processes.
And it also makes me think about participation, because the BAR, Board of Architectural Review, and the Planning Commission are council-appointed boards.
Yeah, just like CRHA. Just like CRHA, they're council-appointed board, right? And so we just got to figure out, there has to be a net that is cast, not just City Council, but to look at the departments. I mean, because the Planning Department is big. Water, sewer, traffic, critical slopes, height, all of that stuff.
Neighborhood development.
Neighborhood development. And the Planning Commission and the planning, most of my folks don't follow the Planning Commission meeting.
It's a lot.
They're on Tuesday. I don't know, what is it, third Tuesday or something? And so everybody can't, but they I think they're on there, but somebody has to take the lead. I know that PHAR can't take the lead on a whole lot of stuff, right? Because we have to get funding in to be able to keep people. So we have to do joint. And so my thing is prolific. You're in the community. we need to educate them so they can help to put pressure. You know, the center, we need to educate them so we can put pressure. But pressure needs to be put somewhere so that there is a medium, because there are people that is in the middle. Like my daughter couldn't afford a house in Charlottesville. She had to go in Albemarle County. I don't do work in Albemarle County. I wanted to be in the city, you know. But everybody I know who wants to stay in the city moves to Albemarle County because they can't afford what is in the city. So yeah, we have to put pressure somewhere, but follow the money, putting pressure and understanding how it all trickles up and how city council get the final and what power city council hold and what the BAR holds.
Yeah, I want to add too. You have to know your surroundings. You have to know the lay of the land.
Okay.
And I want to say too, people perish for the lack of knowledge. You have to have knowledge. To gain wisdom, you have to have knowledge. And I believe that if you apply the right pressure to the right spot, you will see things will reveal themselves to you.
Yeah, I believe that to be very true, Mr. Hicks. I don't think that although these issues that we're talking about is enough to make a person just very angry and want to show up at these meetings and just yell and holler and vent, those things get passed over. They look over. It gets looked over. It gets, deaf ear. And so it is important to educate yourselves because you have to be able to present your opinion, your case, potential resolution, all of those things. So,
and that's what Mr. Frank, I think it is in Fifield. That's what he did about that half-a-mile radius. He researched it. He did everything. He did everything that he was supposed to do, but still it was overruled. I also want to give a shout out to Nakia Walker.
Yes.
Because Nakia tried her very best to educate people and get people to see when you talked about the lens, I always share this with everybody about how or why things change in my heart some. Because I went to a conference and there was this beautiful waterfall. It was about, the topic was, how do you deal with difficult people? And it was this beautiful waterfall and they kept clicking the lens and clicking, click, click, click. And then all of a sudden you could see a shape. And then we had to guess what it was. And everybody was wrong. And then when they finally clicked it, it was a beautiful Chinese tree growing in the back of that waterfall. And what the instructor said to us is that sometimes you got to take the lens off because what you're looking at is not what the issue is. And Nakia Walker and Dave Norris and Holly Edwards was talking about these things before. I didn't get it, but I see it now.
Right.
And so, and then there was one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, I was told by one of my mentors that the city of Charlottesville is going to be an ACC town. And you can guess who told me that. I couldn't see her vision, but I'm beginning to see that this little Charlottesville town is going to turn into an ACC town like Duke. And so we have to have a better strategy of how we still fit in that dream. The core neighborhoods, especially people who have their homes, the Howards, I think about them all the time. Nice homes. That was a Black neighborhood. And now it's mixed now. But I'm thinking about wealth, and we're always talking about wealth and equity and all of that. But in the same token, we are taking it away.
Right.
Yeah.
And have a stopgap. Thank y'all. Brother Earl, Miss Joy Johnson, as always.
Thank you for inviting us.
Miss Patricia Giles.
And hope to see y'all at Westhaven Community Day this Saturday.
August 1st, 10 a.m., Miss Max.
Yes.
That's it. You know, what else is there to add? The people have spoken. They have. Listen up.